Hi and good morning. Welcome to Storytime at North Branch. Today we are going to be reading some books about the five senses. I'll talk about that more in just a minute, but let's start with an opening song. All right, we haven't done this one for a while. We did it back in October, but let's give it a try. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. First we'll clap our hands just so, then we'll bend and touch our toe. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, let's have some fun. Let's try that one more time. Ready? So I'm going to say welcome, welcome everyone, and we'll clap your hands. And I want you at home to bend down and touch your toes. Are you ready? Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, let's have some fun. First we'll clap our hands just so, then we'll bend and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, let's have some fun. So, I told you that our stories are about the five senses, and I'm wondering if any of you know what five senses are. Well, I'm going to give you a hint, and then I'll check back with you after our first story, and that will also be an awesome time for Katie to tell me if any of you are typing hello to me. All right, ready? So I'll give you a hint. We got to use our eyes, we've got to use our ears, our nose, our tongue, and our hands or our skin. All right, my first book for you today is It All Makes Sense, a first look at the senses by Sam Godwin, and it's published by Smart Apple Publishing. It all makes sense. So I want you to notice something interesting about this book. See, there are these white squares, rectangles, and little arrows. Those are called speech bubbles. So I'm going to tell you the story both by reading the text on the top of the page and what the mama and baby bird and sometimes the ants say. We have five senses to explore our world. Come on, dear, let's fly. There's so much to see and hear. Coming, Mommy. And the ants say, and feel and taste and smell too. Mommy, look at all those colors over there. Yes, with our eyes we can see far. Hey, watch where you're going. Whoops, keep your eyes peeled, dear. He almost crashed into a statue. Ouch. And our eyes can help us see near. Wow, I didn't know there was so much going on down here. We couldn't see it all when we were so far away. And the little ant is spying on some ladybugs. And that ant says, that's a sight for sore eyes. I like the sound of the bell, Mommy. Yes, with our ears we can hear all kinds of sounds, from loud clanging noises like ding dong, and Mama said, some sounds make us feel happy, but the bat says, that didn't make me feel happy, it woke me up. Two soft little whispers. What's that rabbit doing, Mama? He has his ears pricked up to listen. Croak, ribbit. The mouse tells us you can hear more if you cup your hands around your ears too. Our noses help us to pick up smells. Mama says, that smells lovely. The butterfly says, I can smell some tasty nectar. The bees say, leave some for us. Some things smell nice and some things smell horrible. Yuck. Little bird says, phew, that smells nasty. Don't touch it, dear. Some smelly things are full of germs. I'm hungry, Mommy. Yes, we taste food and drink with our tongues. Try some food. It's delicious. Yum, yum. But some foods taste bitter and some foods taste sour. Yes, ooh, this lemon tastes sour. And some things taste sweet or salty. Try some cake, dear. It is sweet, just like you. And you all out there are sweet as well. So we can feel the world around us by touch. Some things feel hard, others feel soft. The stone is very hard to sit on. Well, come on and sit on the soft grass. The mouse says, my whiskers help me feel what's going on around me. And some things feel cold or warm. Brr, this water feels cold. Don't worry, dear. Soon we'll be back in our warm nest. So we can see, hear, smell, and taste our world. And don't forget, touch, Mommy. You feel nice and warm. Our 5 senses tell us that we are alive. And the little ant says, ah, now that makes sense. The end. And if you check out this book, you can get a little bit more information about your senses. So, does anybody remember what they are now before we sing our song? It's a very easy song, and they're seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Excuse me. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching. 5 senses, 5 senses. We have them, we have them. Seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. There are 5, there are 5. Now that you've seen the song, let's try it again, and you can join in with me. Are you ready? You can definitely show me all those 5 fingers. 5 senses, 5 senses. We have them, we have them. Seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. There are 5, there are 5. Thank you so much for joining in with me. Now, our next book is a lot of fun. It is called The Bear Went Over the Mountain. Now, I bet lots of you have heard this song before, so we will be singing this song, The Bear Went Over the Mountain, the bear went over the mountain. But the bear's not going to just see, the bear's going to see what he can see and hear and taste and smell. So this story was adapted and pictures by Iza Trapani, and it is published by Sky Pony Press. Now, I want you to notice that this book starts off in the summertime, and then we'll see, maybe do the seasons change? Are you ready to sing with me? The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. He saw a dragonfly, a bluebird flitting by, 3 fuzzy rabbits skipping, 5 happy ducklings dipping. One of those ducklings must be way under. I only see 4. Oh, and one mama duck came nipping to chase him up a tree. Don't mess with mama. All right, this time that bear's going to see what he can, to hear what he could hear. Ready? The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to hear what he could hear. He could hear a cricket chirp, the woodchuck sip and slurp, the hum of froggies peeping, the burst of birdies cheeping. I had to do that one a little slow. That was a tongue twister. And the swish of something creeping and hissing in his ear. A snake. Oh, bye, snake. Go, bear. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain to smell what he could smell. Oh, he smelled spicy pines, sweet honeysuckle vines, the minty grasses swaying, the moldy leaves decaying. Oh, and a skunk beside him spraying. Whew, time to say farewell. This time he's gonna touch, okay? The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to touch what he could touch. He touched a soggy log, a wet and warty frog, a minnow slick and shiny, a blossom soft and tiny, a porcupine all spiny. Ugh, the bear did not like that very much. This time the bear's going to taste. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to taste what he could taste. He tasted tangy shrubs and delicious juicy grubs, a beech nut tough and chewy, some berries tart and dewy, and honey sweet and gooey. But then away he raced. Yes, those bees are going, hey, back off, that's our honey. Okay, so it's been summer, but now I see some leaves are falling. I bet you know what the bear needs to do next. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to go back home again. Now all those leaves have fallen off the tree, and the bear is gathering up some acorns. And actually, the bear went over the mountain to go back home again. And back down the other side, he plodded satisfied. His spirits were just soaring from all of his exploring. Look at that beautiful red-headed woodpecker. And now the Ben is snoring snugly in his den. Good night, bear. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. All right, now, most of the time, we just talk about the senses that we experience with the different sense organs on our skin, like, or on our face, like our eyes and ears, the mouth and nose. But we are going to stand up and we're going to learn some big fancy words that you do not have to remember. But there are some senses that involve your body. So the first one, this is a really big fancy word. If you can remember it, you can maybe impress your daddy or your big brothers or sisters. It's called kinesthesia, and it means knowing how our body is moving in space. So we're going to reach up high. Where are your hands? They're up in the sky. We're going to reach down low. Where are your hands? They're down by your toes. We're going to jump to 5-star, and then we're going to do a yoga pose called triangle. Now our hands are in 2 different places, right? One's up high, one is down low. And let's try that on the other side. Now the other hand is low and the opposite hand is high. And now we're going to try something tricky, tree pose. You're going to pick up your foot, see if you can hold it against your legs, and press your hands together. Now we're experiencing both kinesthesia and proprioception. What? Proprioception? What a huge word. I'll tell you more when we switch sides. So let's put that one foot, other foot down. Try to put your other foot up. And see, sometimes we have better balance on one side. But I can feel that my hands are pressing together, that my feet are pressing into the ground. That's part of proprioception. And I'm telling you this today because this is something that can help us calm down if we feel all nervous and antsy. We can give ourselves some extra proprioception, some extra pressure to our body. So we might try pushing our hands together, or we might try giving ourselves a big hug, a big squeeze to the shoulders. And let's stretch our arms out and try it the other way. Big squeeze. I hope that felt good. You know, sometimes for kids who are older and who have to study, sometimes they might find that putting on a sweater or a jacket that feels kind of snug and warm can help you feel a little calmer. Or wrapping a nice warm blanket around. Those are also things that can help you feel calm and feel better if you're just having a day when you're feeling a little anxious or wiggly. All right, our last book is called David Smells, and this is so silly. All right, it's by David Shannon. It's called a Diaper David book because David is just a toddler in this. And this is published by Scholastic. David has 5 senses. You know these now, right? He can see, he can smell, he can hear, he can taste, he can touch. And David likes to use those senses to explore the world. What will David find? Touch. David thinks he might touch his doggy. Mama says, "Leave him alone, David." Whoops. I think maybe David might pull that doggy's tail. He's gonna try taste. Oh, don't eat that, David. Oh, look, there's a bug and paper and trash on that sucker. Blah. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. David can smell. David, are you stinky? Maybe, Mama. Maybe. And David can hear. He's shaking some maracas, banging on his drum. Oh, David, that's too loud. Oh, but that's the best way to make music, right? To be loud. David can see. Peekaboo, Davy. All right, so now I want to show you a special activity that you can stop by the library to pick up. There's a book for you, and it's called My Five Senses, and I did part of a sample one, so you can do this two different ways. You can do it like I did it and just draw pictures and write about some things you can see, hear, smell. So my picture's kind of light because my doggie is kind of light. But I wrote, I can see with my eyes, I can see my dog. And my dog is blonde and white. And so that's why the picture's kind of light. And then I also wrote, touch. I can touch with my hands. I can touch my dog's soft fur. So you can write all different things that you can see and hear and touch. Or there is a candy cane in your bag. There it is. Candy cane and the book. So you can write about the candy cane if you want, like I can see red and white, I can smell mint, and all the rest of your senses. So if your mom or dad wants to pick one of these up, we can put one with your name on it out in curbside pickup if you would like to, but I only made 8. So you'll have to call or stop by the library soon. All right, so we're going to practice a little bit more proprioception and kinesthesia, doing our bread and butter, marmalade and jam. And we'll say goodbye. Since you're not here to be loud, you get to be loud at home. We'll say it softly, quietly, loudly. I can't remember the other one. I know we wanted to do Italian is ciao, adios is Spanish, and we also want to do, slowly and quickly. You ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye as softly as you can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye as loudly as you can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye as slowly as you can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye as quickly as you can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye in Italian if you can. Ciao. Last one's adios. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Say goodbye in Spanish if you can. Adios. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.